Hello and welcome. You're watching the Times of India. I'm Nalin Mehta. We are discussing the big demonetization gamble by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We're speaking and today again you're at the Digidhan Mela in Delhi. The big debate, the big political debate we are tracking now is the demonetization debate was started. The move by the Prime Minister was aimed at wiping out black money. The big question that's being asked of the Prime Minister with us is Rohit Saran, the executive editor of the Times of India, is that has black money been wiped out, Rohit? Yeah. This is what everybody wants to find out because it's moved from black money to digital transactions.
Right.
So if you can put us in perspective for all the viewers joining us, how successful has the PM's move been in terms of black money per se?
Right. So we are getting wiping out black money in a country like India is a huge task. We are just beginning to see some early signs of what's really happening. So the first two figures, first to just basically give you a broad idea of where we are, you know, the demonetization, the cash, the two high value currency notes scheme is ending today, where the acceptance was only limited till. Now, when we started demonetization, 15.4 lakh crore worth of old currency was taken out of the system, right, which was close to 86% of all currency value in
unprecedented amount of money.
Unprecedented. You know, 86% of the blood from your body being sucked out. But the value, let me say it's value, not volume. Right. Volume was lower. Now, we already know that as of December 19th, 14 lakh, which is 90%, has come back. Now, when we say come back, this is the old currency coming back. This does not include the new currency that RBI has printed, which is between 5 to 6 lakh crore. So this has come back into the system. Now, how much of this, going back to your question, how much of this is black and how much of this is white and how much of this is grey, we will quickly...
Because this is a very important question, because at the time when the move happened,
right,
there was this talk that some amount of money will not come back,
yes,
and that is the black money that will be discounted out.
Yes.
But now we're saying almost the whole money has come back.
Yes.
So is this all white money, so there was no black money, or is black money being turned into white? So how is the government tackling that? We have some figures here, Rohit, which the Times of India has carried today. This is the headline of the Times of India today, that 4 lakh crore of cash deposits so far. Of that 14 lakh crore may be suspect. That's the estimate of the income tax department.
Yes, and Nalin, here the word suspect needs to be explained. Is that income tax department has been monitoring some of the high value transactions of old currency. So of 14 lakh, they believe that this 4 lakh is where their further investigations can go into to identify black money.
So this is basically, if you can break down, these are basically individual accounts, loan payments, dormant accounts, and Jan Dhan accounts.
Yes.
So
yes. So this right now we know these are accounts, and these are not most probably institutional accounts. So now, income tax department hasn't told us in as many words, but
so if I can just put this in perspective, Rohit, what we're talking about is money which has come into accounts, into people's individual accounts,
right,
which seems to be of not in the normal course of things.
Absolutely.
An account which normally don't have this kind of money suddenly are being flooded with a lot of money.
Yes.
That's what the income tax department wants to investigate further.
Yeah. So say a deposit of 80 lakhs and above. You know, if you're depositing in a month's time, which is between November 10th to the 80 lakhs in your account. Now, such deposits alone are close to 4 lakh crore and into 1 lakh bank accounts.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money suddenly coming out. Yeah, again, you know, so now those were deposits of just 80 lakhs and more. This is 1 crore and above. So you
individual deposits of 1 crore and above.
Of rupees 501,000. So imagine the volume
of the old currency
coming back in individual accounts of this type.
2.1 lakh crore. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Now that is roughly the entire excise duty or customs duty collection of Government of India in a year. So that much money is coming into individual accounts in 1 month. So it's huge.
Now there comes a question of dormant accounts which were not dormant, which really not being used so much.
Right.
And over 2 lakh deposits individually are 15,500 crores.
Yeah. So this is, so why dormant? In the sense that government had said that any deposits of more than, let's say, 2.5 lakh will be considered suspicious. They did not explain what would that mean. So that's why people are using accounts that were dormant to bring in some of the old money. So yeah, that was...
Similarly, between 40,000 to 2 lakh individual deposits, that's over to 10,500 crore or about 2,500 crores.
Yes.
Then comes the question of Jan Dhan account. There's been a lot of talk that the big queues at the ATM machines are basically to some extent have been by people who've been paid to deposit other people's money. Then the question of Jan Dhan accounts. If you can put...
Yeah, see, Jan Dhan account is very interesting because see, Jan Dhan accounts are created only for poor who do not have, most of them, who do not have high value transaction needs. And most of the Jan Dhan account are actually what is called non-KYC, which means that they cannot have deposits of more than, I think, 50,000, and they cannot have withdrawal of more than 10,000 in a month.
Right.
That's why it is Jan Dhan. Otherwise, it is normal account. Now, imagine 2,000 crore of money
into
coming.
Jan Dhan accounts.
Yeah, and I repeat, in less than 2 months. This is like 40 days. In 40 days, 2,000 crore coming in an account which is supposed to be for poor men. No wonder IT department is thinking this is suspicious money.
Absolutely. And this is as much as almost 5 lakh bank accounts which are party to this. So that's a huge amount of data to be sifted through. Similarly, over 1 lakh rupee deposits individually in Jan Dhan accounts is almost 4,500. That's the whole gamut of the possibly suspicious transactions.
The 4 lakh crore that we talked about.
The other point I wanted to ask you, Rohit, is that the fourth point we haven't touched upon is also the question of bank loan repayments.
Which is actually bizarre. So, you know, this actually is very bizarre because now we all take loans and we repay our loans. But imagine people in just 40 days, almost 1.2 lakh loan accounts, let me just put it that way, loan accounts have seen inflow of nearly 40,000 crore rupees. Now,
nearly 50,000.
50,000, sorry, 50,000 crore rupees worth of, which means that people are paying loans of this much amount in 40 days through old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Now, you and I cannot repay loan in cash at all. We have, even if we repay through check, we are asked questions. That are you, are you transferring money from other account? And so for people to be able to pay 50,000 crore worth of loans, repay in old currency is bizarre.
It's a hell of a lot of money.
No wonder government is wondering what's going on.
So the other thing, and in terms of the government's defense of whether demonetization has succeeded or not succeeded, Mr. Jaitley, the finance minister, has put out some numbers which says that the taxation amount has significantly increased.
See, the key thing is if black is turning into white, government's tax revenue should grow, among other things. Now, it's too early. So, but let's say between April to December period, direct tax revenues are up by 14%, and advanced taxes have gone up by 14%. So this gives very early,
preliminary
indications.
Rohit, let me, one of the issues that has been talked about is how the goalposts have shifted. The Congress has said this, P. Chidambaram has said this, that on the 8th of November, when this drive started, we were talking about black money and terror financing. Now, if you listen to the Prime Minister, he's talking almost entirely about digital transactions. So let's just see what the Prime Minister has been saying and between 8th of November and now. This is 8th of November.
8th of November.
अतः भ्रष्टाचार, काला धन, जाली नोट और आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जंग में हम लोग थोड़ी सी कठिनाई, वह भी कुछ दिनों के लिए, तो झेल ही सकते हैं.
Okay. So this is
before and now.
सोसाइटी की तरफ आगे बढ़ रही है. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टेक्नोलॉजिकल व्यवस्था के द्वारा हम रुपये पा भी सकते हैं, रुपये दे भी सकते हैं, चीज खरीद भी सकते हैं, बिल चुकता भी कर सकते हैं. और इससे जेब में से कभी बटुए की चोरी होने का तो सवाल ही नहीं उठेगा. हिसाब रखने की भी चिंता नहीं रहेगी, ऑटोमेटिक हिसाब रहेगा. शुरुआत थोड़ी कठिन लगेगी, लेकिन एक बार आदत लगेगी तो ये व्यवस्था सरल हो जाएगी.
So it's very clear that when they started, there were 3 objectives. We didn't know which one is the biggest objective and where will, but yes, if we just see these, looks like the emphasis has shifted, but it's not either or. That's the point that I think people need to understand. We all need to understand that it's so black money and fake currency is one point in time measure through demonetization. But if digital transactions increase, then black money permanently goes down. I'm not saying it's going to disappear.
So we have some numbers on digital transactions, Rohit, and those numbers are that these are very preliminary numbers which are from the RBI. In November 2016, NEFT transactions but to the value of 8,807 billion.
Right.
And that has increased in December 2016 to 9,582 billion.
Right.
Bearing in mind that we don't have data for some days in December.
Yeah.
As far as RTGS transactions are concerned, that was to the tune of 78,500 billion in November. It's gone down in December to 71,500 billion, but it's gone down also because RTGS transactions don't happen on holidays. There have been a number of holidays in December. So that data for that is missing.
True. So the thing is that, see, the thing here is that, which we all have to understand, is that volumes have risen. Values have either not risen or risen very marginally because people are doing a smaller transaction. And also, please keep in mind that actually temporarily cash transactions increased after demonetization. People were trying to get rid of old money. So in petrol pumps, instead of paying credit card, we are paying. So the real measure of digitization, digital transactions, will come in January. Right now, people are busy getting rid of old.
So let's take a few questions, Rohit. I've been very, we're getting a lot of live commentary on what we are talking about. A lot of people are complaining about the implementation. The vast majority of comments we are getting just from this sample are saying, well, good idea or bad, implementation could have been better. So, for example, Sanjay Basod says, not with proper planning, it badly affected the poor people, and small and marginal farmers and skilled person. This is the kind of sample we're getting from an internet watching audience. But the Times of India has also been doing larger surveys. So let's talk about what our surveys are telling us.
Yes, this is what we ran just 2 days ago with, so this was not so much about the pain. This is assessment as of December end, as it worked. Now, if you see, while half of people said it worked, now if you add these two, these are fence-sitters.
Too early
and
to say.
They may turn into no or yes tomorrow.
54% but is still quite high, that's above half. Now, is it easier to access cash today than say 6 weeks ago? This is a significant figure.
So again, see this, if we go by what the comments that we are getting, this is relative. So you're saying, yes, it's easier, but still painful. I can interpret that way. Or, it's considerably easier. We don't know.
And the third is, are you making more digital payments today than before demonetization?
Yes. I mean, I guess all the mobile wallets from Freecharge to Paytm, whatever and everything. But now, see, here the real thing, Nalin, will be capturing how much more. And I think that we will have to wait till February. It's a habit issue. It's an infrastructure issue. I tried to make, but my transaction did not go through. So I think some of these we should really wait for 1 month. And I mean, what we know for sure is that perhaps the worst of pain is over. But is the black money really out? I think let's just give us a couple of more weeks.
Well, on that note, we'll halt. And of course, the Prime Minister, well, we have to wait till next month, but also the Prime Minister will be speaking tomorrow on New Year's Eve. And he, in a sense, a lot of people expect him to be giving a report card, if you like, of what he thinks where things have gone. So we'll wait and watch what the Prime Minister says on New Year's Eve. And the final word on demonetization, I think, is still up for grabs.
Thanks
Thanks very much, Rohit Sir. Keep watching the Times of India for live updates.